Hi, this is David Doan, one of the Pride Alliance Board of Directors. I'm also the member of the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee member. This is the third training videos, and we will be discussing in this video the discussion guides, how to listen and how to facilitate a discussion relating to DEIAB. In this section here, you will see that there are various guides that we have created that are available for you. This is a list in alphabetical order, from ability and mobility all the way down to will of consent. So this section is quite short because we provide you with a framework, but each of these discussion guides are not meant to be done all at once. Actually, we highly recommend you doing only one discussion at a time. The beauty about the discussion guides is that you can pick and choose what topic you want to facilitate and discuss at any given time, depending on the current needs of the membership. But also, you can do this virtually. You can do this in a small group or a large group setting. So, but the goal is to really promote the exchange of dialogues and for your members to have a safe space that they can actually candidly share their comments and their experience, suggestions, and idea. So we'll start with ability and mobility discussion guide. I won't belabor this training section very much because I think you're going to get a handle of how this is done. Each of the discussion guide will have an introduction and a set of instructions and some other additional information or prompts to help you with that discussion. So ability and mobility discussion guide, the introduction here is it just set the stage that although most buildings already adhere to the Americans with Disabilities Act, there may be older buildings, and we all play and perform in many old buildings. I remember playing in Paris for the gay games, and boy, was that a not pleasant experience. It was in the middle of summer. I think it was over 100 degrees Fahrenheit outside, and they did not have air conditioning. And every single place that we had to go to, upstairs and downstairs, it was very narrow staircases. But anyway, the point here is if people within your band have expressed discontent of their experience because the band has not been adequately able to accommodate the various needs of their disability, this is a great discussion guide. It also generates opportunity for your logistics team to be a production team to really consider when they are selecting venue and also performing at certain different venues and engagement. So instruction here is for each of the scenarios below, you want to identify the issues surrounding equity, access, and belonging that is presented in each of the scenarios. These are representative scenarios. Feel free to we encourage you to have your own scenarios from previous experience. You want to reflect on how the situation may or may not be present in your own band. You want to brainstorm and range the possible responses to the scenario. In your band, whose responsibility is it to speak up and challenge or support the issue presented? Record your conversations and responses for reporting back to the larger group. Here are two scenarios. I'm not going to read them, but when you read them, you will see kind of like the challenge or the issue or the problem statement or the opportunity that needs to really bring forth some discussions, because your goal is how do you address this, mitigate the scenarios that is presented to you. And please use your own scenario. I think that will be more meaningful than some of the suggestions that we have here. So this is really the structure of discussion guide. It's quite simple, but it requires effective facilitation skills from whoever is leading that session. It also is an opportunity for you to get to know your members very well, and you have to make sure you create that safe space so people to feel comfortable, because the value of the discussions will only come from the members feeling comfortable enough to share candidly about their experiences. Here's some checklists that relates to the ability and mobility checklist. So these are the things such as public transit. When you live in cities, do your members have access using public transportations, bus routes, subway, etc.? Because one of the challenges of not being able to come to rehearsal because they do not have a way of public transportation to take them there because they don't have their own transportation. Building entrances, if I am using a wheelchair or other, a walker, a cane, if I have large instruments, do these doors open? There's been opportunity, and there's times again when you have to move your percussion equipment, so you play the tuba and so on, and you don't have a way to get through entrances. Entrance door handles, is it easy to open the door if you have to carry something big or you have some other assistive device? Are there mats and ramps that may be a hindrance to the mobility? Are there ramps to facilitate certain type of accessible needs? Outdoor infrastructure, indoor infrastructure, other mobility accessibility concerns. And you don't already know, we have an accessibility checklist for all of our host bands who have conferences as well. So there's a lot of topics, there's a lot of discussion that can come out of the ability and mobility discussion guide. So this is the second discussion guide where we have the digital accessibility discussion guide, same format, the introductions, the instructions, and then the scenarios for discussion. So that's all I wanted to leave you with. This is not a long video because the format is so similar to one discussion guide to the next. So this will be the digital accessibility checklist. When you are sharing information digitally, the headers or the color that you need to take into consideration if someone is colorblind, the font style, the size, the linkages, the images, and all those things are things that we wanted to discuss because people may have a challenge of reading and consuming the information digitally. The next one, and I will truly end after this discussion guide, is gender identity. So we have the instructions and the introductions on this slide and a set of scenarios for you. And if there's any checklist, that will be here. So that's really the end of the third video. And I hope collectively the 3 videos help you to use and apply the DEIAB Playbook that our DEI committee has put together. There's a lot of content. You do not have to do this all alone. Please make sure you are aware that one of our DEI committee members will be delighted to help you in many different ways to do a mock run for you, a dry run with you, can be there with you to co-facilitate or listen and observe and give you feedback to help coach you to get you to be better, to help you certain aspects of the DEI playbook discussion may not, so those are opportunities that we can help you. So please feel free to always send an email to dei@pridebands.org and just express your, share your kind of needs as far as how we can help you to make sure you take advantage of the great content within this DEIAB playbook.